if you're watching this film, what you're about to watch is a repost of the Richard Strong story. We took the initial story down because we were contacted by the victim's family. And after listening to their perspective, we thought that it was the right thing to do. So what we're going to do now, what we're about to do now, is we're about to do a repost. But before we do that, we want to make a couple of things absolutely clear. One, we want to make sure that we present the fact that there was one real victim, and that was Anissa Rivera. We didn't say her name during the course of the first film because we thought that would have been respectful to the family, since we hadn't talked to any members of the family at that time. But after talking to him, we understand that was exactly the opposite of what they wanted, and we respect that and appreciate that. I also want to point out the fact that after talking to these people, that these people showed us a lot of patience and a lot of understanding in what we're trying to accomplish, which leads me to what we actually are trying to accomplish when we post these stories. We post these stories because we're posting stories that will hopefully influence the young and whoever else in the community who sees these films, hopefully have a positive influence on them. We don't want to give off the impression that we're either endorsing or denying the validity of any of these stories. With that being said, we are going to now play the story in its entirety, and we hope and pray that you get out of it what we intend for you to get out of it. And we want to again just apologize to Miss Rivera's beautiful family members and let them know that our heart's with them, and we do realize that they suffered a tragic loss. So with that being said, here's the Richard Strong story. This guy is a living example of what we be telling the young guys. When they was in there, remember we was in there, we was at the meeting and they were talking about what a man should be, stuff like that. And one of the things that came up was loyal. Loyal was one of the words, one of the main terms they used. And so the question came up was, loyal to what? It's good to be loyal, yeah. But what are you being loyal to? Who are you being loyal to? In this case, I'm not absolutely positive that loyal applies to Rich and what happened with him. But I will say he trusted these guys, or this guy, because this guy was supposed to be his friend. And in that process, this guy had to go through an ordeal. I mean, it was an ordeal. In the long run, ended up costing him 8 years of his life. 8 years in an institution, but it's something that he's going to be dealing with for the rest of his life. Now, the good thing about him is he got a real positive mindset. And since he's been home, I can truly say that he hasn't been dwelling on it. He knows about his past, he thinks about his past, but this guy still has the resolve to think positive, and he actually says that he's blessed. Now, what kind of person do you have to be to go through all of that and come out the other side knowing that you're still going to have to deal with this and say you're blessed? Either one of two things. You either are truly special because you got that kind of mindset and the ability to maintain that kind of mindset, or you naive to what you really about to run into. I don't know which case applies to him, but I tend to trust him through all of this. He's able to maintain that positive outlook. He's aware of what he went through. He's aware of what he's going to have to face, and he still feels blessed. I tend to trust that because those are the words that came out of his mouth, and that's the position that he displays every time I'm around him. Every time I'm around him, I never see this guy down. He's always smiling, and he's always moving forward. And he said, if my story will help any of the young boys out here, I'll tell it. And he told it. He told his story. It's powerful. It's a powerful story. I don't know how I would handle it, or if I could handle it the way he handled it. But all I know is he's handling it, and he's handling it in an admirable fashion, because I find it inspiring to be around this guy. And I find it commendable that he's not sitting back soaking in his sorrow. Instead, he's trying to take his misfortune and give it to somebody else, hoping that they'll take something from it and it moves them in a direction that they can avoid the same thing. So what we about to do is we about to listen to Rich tell his story.
The route is being calculated.
The ad just came up.
Please proceed to the highlighted route.
Let's go. Let's see where we go. All right.
In 1,000 feet, turn slide right onto I-295 northbound. Now turn slide right.
I remember Nikki said it's like a little yellow house, but this is, you talking about 8-9 years ago. The house could be painted, could be this, could be that, but I forget. I don't even think he remembered the address. I just want to see the town, man. The little place where something like this happened. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, what happened? What happened? Because I remember, man, you used to be over at my house, and I'll be cutting your hair, and my impression was, man, this is a good kid right here. You know what I mean? I didn't see nothing, and I didn't foresee what you went through.
Yeah.
A lot of times you can see different kids or you, and you can kind of get an idea.
I don't think nobody ever foresee. Not even me, but I don't think nobody in my neighborhood that knows me and watched me grow up, you know what I mean, and see what I had to go through and whatnot, see me go through something like that or would expect something like that to happen to me. Everybody was shocked. Everybody they were like, what's going on? I mean, I have gotten in trouble in the past, you know what I mean, but something like this is like, wow, Rich, what's going on? I had people, when I was getting arrested, people started crying. Some people started crying. Some people's like, Rich, I could see him at the corner of my eyes. Be like, what did he do? Like, you know what I mean? What happened? Like, what's going on? And I couldn't tell them because I was in custody.
How was your father?
He was messed up. I'm surprised he didn't, cause my dad's 81 now. He was 70 something when that happened, and he was pretty messed up. Like when he came to visit me and everything, he was pretty messed up. He was just sad. He cried. The first time I ever seen my dad cry, and he told me he loved me. Cause remember, I told you he showed me tough love. So getting the "I love you" was kind of hard for him to say to me. You know what I mean? He's like, "I love you. I know you didn't do anything." You know what I mean? I told you about what he said. I told you about hanging out with them guys.
So he knew those. Did he know those guys?
No, he didn't know them. Like, these were new friends in my life and everything that I was hanging out with. You know what I mean? I barely even knew him. But I knew that if we boys, you got my bag, I got your bag. You know what I mean? That's how I roll and whatnot.
And that's what a lot of these youngsters think.
Yeah.
So tell us about how that idea of you got my back, I got your back, you got my back. Tell us how that impacted you. What did that do to you?
That got me in a lot of trouble and a lot of time behind bars. Because it seems like I felt as though if I got your back, you got my back. If you got the charge, you take your own charge. Don't just drag me down in it. I'll support you from the outside because you was being a real person and you took your charge. But if you never took your charge, if we both get locked up and you tell them, "Oh, I don't know what's going on, I don't know what happened," you know what I'm saying? You're not telling them. I'm still going to get in trouble because you're not telling them what's really going on. You get what I'm saying? And you're the one that started the whole thing. I got my first charge as an adult was conspiracy to commit murder, conspiracy to commit aggravated assault, first degree murder. It was just 40 charges when I first got charged as an adult that reduced down into 2 charges that's on my record for life, which you know, it stays on your record because they're 2 felonies. I had 40 felonies on me. And going through the court system reduced down to 2, but I'll get into the story if you really want to know about it.
Yeah, so.
October 3rd. I was getting up in the morning, you know, this is early in the morning, around like 8 o'clock. Me and my boys, we went out to New Jersey. So-called boys, let me just get that off the record. Went out to New Jersey. Now, on our way out to Jersey, I was stopping at my boy's uncle's house because I needed to talk to him about a limo. I already graduated high school. This is like the summertime. It's like when the summer was getting over with and the fall was coming in. I already graduated high school and everything, but my girlfriend at the time, she didn't graduate. She only had 1 more year left. So I wanted to do something nice for her. I wanted to get a limo for her homecoming. I've never been in a limo. She never been in a limo. I had saved up some money during summertime, working summer jobs, cutting grass, and I had at least like 800 on me that day. My plans were to go speak to my boy's uncle, so-called boy's uncle, because he ran a limo service. Like, he did a limo service on the side and everything. And he told me first come, first serve. I wanted to be first. That's only right. I have the money for it. And I only needed him for like a couple hours. So as we go over there, he's talking to his girl on my phone because his phone died, obviously. This is when we still had the boost phones, the chirps and everything. So his phone died and everything. He's talking to his girl. So they was arguing the other night, and I don't know what they was arguing because I wasn't in their business, but it seemed like they was making up in the morning. You know how it is relationship-wise. I mean, you anger at the person for 1 minute, and then you know what I mean, you rub that off and you be like, "Baby, you know, I'm sorry," and everything, you know what I'm saying? So he was speaking like he was sorry and everything, you know what I mean? And he said he's gonna be over there, and I told him when we got on the bus to get to New Jersey, I told him, "We stopping at your uncle's first. I'm not going to your girl's house. You can go to your girl's house. I'm going to your uncle's house." He like, "Nah, come on, stay with us. We gonna get over there and everything. I still gotta show you where my uncle live at and everything." So I said, all right, I got you, because this is loyalty. You know what I mean? You trying to be loyal to your boy. You don't want him to get in no trouble out there. And this is a new state, so I don't know nobody out here. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm gonna ride with my peoples. So we get over there. He gets a hotel room. So I'm like, "Yo, you gonna stay?" He like, yeah, but I need you to put the hotel room in your name. I said, all right, I'll put in my name and everything. So I wrote the hotel. I put the hotel in my. I didn't use my name exactly. I used. I printed out another name and everything. But we got the room and everything. He paid the cash for the room. So I'm like, yo, as soon as we go see your uncle and everything, you know what I mean, you can stay down here. I'm going back to Delaware. So he was like, all right, bet, say no more. So, boom, his girl called. He calls the girl, he tells the girl he about to come over there. Me and the other guy, because I don't know this guy from a can of paint, but this is his people, so we dabbed it up and everything. We said, what's up, you know what I mean? Because I only met him through my homeboy and everything. So, he talks about going to his girl's house real quick. So I'm like, man, you stalling right now because you already know what I'm down here for. I'm trying to get to your uncle first before anybody else do. So he like, nah, my uncle's good. He gonna eat. I got you. Trust, I got you. So I'm believing him. So we go where the motel was around the corner. His girlfriend stayed there. So I guess he's gonna have his girlfriend come back at night, to chill up in the room with him. That's why he bought the room. You know how it is. Like, you'll buy the room since you can't do it at your house. You'll buy a room and everything, and we'll do it at the room and kick it. So I said, all right, well, I told her, she gonna come around here? He's like, nah, we gonna go around there because you wanna see me. So I said, all right. So I believed him. So as soon as we get around there, it was in Salem on West, what was it? It was Wesley Street or something like that. And as soon as we got there, I can remember it was just a yellow house with a white door. As soon as he got up the steps, he kicks in the door. Boom.
Were you with him?
I was with him.
When he kicked the door?
Yes, I was with him when he kicked the door in. He kicked in the door. In my mind, I'm like, why are you kicking the door to your girl's house? He didn't even knock at first. He just kicked in the door. Boom. So now he goes in there. He starts beating up on his girl. I goes to grab him because now I'm inside the house now. I goes in there to grab him and everything and restrain him. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? It's broad daylight. This is broad daylight. I mean, I'm talking about the neighbors got their door open across the street, and there's people sitting on the porch, and they seeing 3 black guys go in this girl's house with no parents in there, just her in there with her cat. You know what I mean? So we go in there. I'm trying to restrain him back. Other boy comes in behind me. I'm thinking he's gonna help me out. Cause I'm thinking he don't even know what the hell's going on, and all of a sudden he pulls out a knife and tries to stab her. I'm like, oh no, he didn't even try to stab her. He just waved the knife in her hand. I mean, he just waved the knife in his hand, in her face, and she was getting scared and everything. And all I can remember was her was telling him to stop. And then my boy said, do it now. To the other guy, he's like, do it now. He pulls out the gun, shoots her in the face. And it was a loud pop, so broad daylight. Remember, this is broad daylight. It was a loud pop. You don't think the neighbors across the street with their door open, seeing what was going on?
Did it turn out that they did?
Yeah, they was in the police report. So was the lady down the street on the porch. She was in the police report.
So after it happened, what did y'all do? Did y'all run out? Did y'all walk out?
Yeah, we ran out. And as we ran out, I was the last one because he ran out first, and then the other dude that shot the girl ran out. Then I ran out last, and I was the one. They got my fingerprints to the doorknob because we wasn't thinking at that point. We just wanted to get out of there. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to get out of it. Bump them. I wanted to get out of there because that's something totally different. You know what I'm saying? From what I go through, you know what I mean? Usually they'll fight it out. You know what I mean? I could see them fighting it out, but to shoot her and then after you shot the girl, you gonna just sit there with a numb, stupid look on your face and can't believe what happened? Like, come on now. You just told your man to shoot your girl.
When did you realize that moment was going to change your life?
When we got back to Delaware. sadly to say, when we got back to Delaware.
The same day.
Yeah, because he got booked the same day. And the reason why he got booked, because he kept calling the family. He kept calling them saying, what happened? I've been trying to call such and such, and she's not picking up, and I don't know what's going on. And the family picked up on it because you kept calling and calling and calling, and then you kept arguing with the family, and they caught wind of what happened. They said, yeah, he's the one that did it. They put a warrant out for his arrest the same day. They came over here and got him the same. No, state troopers came and got him. New Jersey troopers told state troopers what's his name. They already had his criminal background.
So he was here in Delaware.
Yeah, he lived in Delaware. He lived in my hood.
The other guy was with him did too?
Nah, he lived in Cedarville.
Is that Jersey?
Nah, that's like down, I don't even know. It's like lower Delaware. Yeah. But he got caught the same day. I got caught 2 days later.
So how did you end up getting caught? By your fingerprints or?
I mean, my fingerprints, they also had pictures from the hotel room of us grabbing our stuff and leaving out the hotel room. We all changed clothes because he was like changing clothes and everything. So I was just following suit and trying to change clothes just to get out of there.
While you was doing all that, right afterwards, and you changing and you preparing to get.
I was still messed up in my head. I was messed up in my head.
That's what I wonder. What kind of thoughts do you remember? Because I can imagine if it was.
Man, I can remember like it was yesterday. I mean, this is not going to leave me.
What kind of thoughts were you having while you were preparing to get up out of there? To get back to Delaware?
My thoughts were, I was like, oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God, I hope we don't get caught. I hope we don't get caught. In fact, if we do get caught, he better take the weight for it because this is his problem. And I was like, my mind was like, get the out of Jersey, now, you know what I mean? And he was telling me, we gonna get out of here, we gonna get out of here. But also he was saying sorry to me, like, yo, my bad, you had to go through that, you had to see that. I said, the only thing I wanted to do was come down here to speak with your uncle about a freaking limo for a homecoming at Del Castle.
Did you say that to him afterwards? Did y'all argue or?
Well, he had the gun. You gotta remember.
Yeah, he did.
He had the gun. I wasn't trying. I don't know where his mind at about if he could trust me or not. All I was trying at that point, it's like I was trying to just get him to trust me enough so he can get distance away from us.
That was what I was going to ask you next. Seeing as though that these were new friends of yours, did you worry about them turning the gun on you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because he still had it out. And I didn't trust him. On some real, after he did that, I didn't trust him. So I kept my eye on him. Because it's easier for me to move, because he was so close to me, it's easy for me to push the barrel and hit him and run. You get what I'm saying? But I kept my eye on him just to make sure, because I was nervous and I didn't trust nobody at that point. You get what I'm saying? So it's like now I got to figure out in my head, I was trying to just stop him from hitting on this girl. Now I don't know if that caused him to think, oh, I can't trust you now I gotta shoot you and leave you here.
All these thoughts was going through your mind.
Yeah. So I had to really think and be like calm. Once we was getting out there, he didn't want me, because see, we took the bus, right? We took the bus all the way to the Walmart near Salem. And his uncle, the one I was supposed to meet, came and picked us up. And once he picked us up and everything, we was riding back over to Delaware, and he ain't want me to leave him because he ain't trust me now because of what I did, because of what I tried to stop him. You feel what I'm saying? But he wasn't gonna do nothing stupid in front of his uncle and everything, because his uncle already knew what was going on. Like, I'm not saying he knew about what he was going to do there, but he knew their relationship because he lives in Jersey. He lives like around that area. So he didn't think that his nephew was going to take it that far, but he did.
In your home, he didn't know that had happened, no?
he didn't know that was he didn't know that happening, but he explained. My boy, so-called boy, that told him to shoot the girl, explained to him what happened. And he was just shaking his head like, yo, you. His uncle was like, yo, you going down, bro. Like, I would advise you not to call the family, but he was so stupidly that he did call the family. And that's what got him caught up first. You get what I'm saying? He got caught the same day. I mean, I was at the McDonald's, he was at the marketplace, and all you could see was cop cars surrounding him when he was getting booked. And then I seen the girls coming up. I was like, ooh, your friend getting locked up. And in the back of my mind, I already know what he's getting locked up for. So I'm not explaining that to them because I don't want my name dragged into anything. You know what I'm saying?
Thinking that.
I was thinking, yeah, I was really thinking that. And so I stayed around my neighborhood thinking that they wasn't worried about me now. They was just on him. They got who they wanted. You get what I'm saying? So I was a little bit of tension relieved because since they picked him up, I'm not fearing for my life because before when I got away from him in that car, I was thinking he's gonna come back and try to shoot my dad or shoot me. You get what I'm saying? So, like I said, once I got out of the car, I went to my girlfriend's house. And I tried to get some comfort over there, and I wasn't trying to tell her nothing, but she knew something was up. I wasn't acting right. I wasn't acting normal. You know what I mean? And I was just spaced out.
He didn't want you to leave him.
He didn't want me to leave him because he didn't trust me.
But he was in the car with his uncle.
Yeah, so, and that whole prom thing went out. That whole homecoming thing went out the window. It was like it's no even use to talking about it. The money that I had and everything, I just put back up in my house. You know what I mean?
Who got dropped off first?
I got dropped off first because my house is like the entrance of the neighborhood. But he didn't want to drop me off and everything.
Did he say that to his uncle?
He was like, man, don't say nothing. You don't know nothing, don't say nothing. And right before I got out the car, he grabbed my shoulder. He was like, Rich, don't say nothing. I said, I got you. My whole point was to get away from him. Do you know what I mean? But when they got him the same day, he gonna tell me not to say something, but yeah, you're still speaking to the family. You get what I'm saying? And that same day and everything, they picked him up. Now, the reason why they picked me up, because they had me on camera at the hotel room. They see my face. You know what I'm saying? I was already locked up as a juvenile before and I got probation. I got off easy. Got like a slap on the wrist. And they got his face and they got all of us leaving the motel room. And he was telling police that we was never in Jersey or none of that. And at the point, his little brother, the one that was with us when we came over there, but he left because he went home because he just went home that day. Like he went to his house because his little brother stayed in Jersey.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So in the police interview, what I saw, his little brother actually told on me. It took 6 interviews, but they got it up out of him the 5th interview, and he told him my name, and he told him what was going on. Like he knew everything that was going on, which he didn't know because he wasn't there. He just went home once he got off the bus. And he said, listen, I got a kid on the way and everything, which I didn't know about. You know what I mean? He's like, at first he was like, he doesn't know us. He only knows his brother. He couldn't believe his brother would do that to his girl. That was in the first couple of interviews. Then in the last interview, he said, yeah, this boy is Richard Strong, lives in Simon's Garden. That's there in Brittingham. Lives in Simon's Garden. You know what I mean? He lives in Cedarville. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't say nothing about his brother. He just said, I couldn't believe my brother would do something like this. So he broke, which he young. You know what I mean? I felt some type of way about that. Yeah, I felt some type of way about that. Anybody would. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I put myself in that situation. You understand what I'm saying? These are new friends that I don't really know like that. But I put myself in that situation for that to happen. The police said if that would have happened and you would have just came to us straight from the gate, you would have never got locked up.
I'm saying that Richard didn't have enough time to tell the police because the boy got caught the same day it happened. This is the same day. I don't know. He didn't say the same night, none of that. He said the same day, and they done it during the daytime. He just got home. I mean, what?
He got locked up. It was later. Because remember, they didn't pick him up and find out who they was until they interviewed the little brother for six interviews. So by the time they actually caught the guy, who's the boyfriend,
Right.
in Delaware, some time had passed and it was like evening. It was evening, and I think Richard goes on to explain that later on in the documentary, if I remember correct.
All right, now
Nah, I ain't finished. You said yours now. You let me finish mine.
I just wanted to say one more thing though,
Go ahead, man.
and because I know you're going to end this. The bull who actually done it. What happened with him? Like, he got locked up. Yeah, but if he got locked up after the boyfriend, okay, Richard goes to say that the boyfriend called the family, and he got locked up. The boyfriend got locked up first.
Yeah.
And then them two get locked up. Who told on the boy? Okay, the little brother.
The little brother told on
Okay, all right.
everybody.
Okay. So, all right.
But this is my thing. When Richard said that the police told him that had he come to them, he might not have got those charges. And you say he didn't have time to come to them.
Nope, and he would have got them charges, regardless.
He had time to come to him because they hadn't locked Richard up yet.
Yeah.
That don't have much to do with Richard's charges. Yeah, they got a lot to do with what happened, but it doesn't have much to do with what time the time and as far as the boyfriend when he got locked up. The point is this is what they trying to, this is what I think the point is. The point is that from the time Richard got out the car and separated himself from them dudes, he had time to go to the police himself and tell them what happened. But as we go on into the documentary, he's going to explain what really happened. But right now, I'm standing on the fact that he had time just because the police hadn't come and got Richard yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna stand on that for now. I'm
Okay.
gonna let you say this, but we gotta finish watching the film.
Okay, you right. I just want to say this.
What?
When you in a situation like that, it's called state of shock.
Yeah. Yeah.
This boy is in shock, man.
Yeah.
This is some shocking. This is some shocking shit.
Yeah.
So he get home. That to tell ain't on his mind. Only how to keep himself from getting locked up is what he's thinking about.
Yeah. I understand that.
So telling is like.
So you saying that
So
just
the
was the last thing?
So the timing with telling, it might take time. It might take a couple days.
Yeah, but you ain't got time.
You don't.
You don't have time.
This
is the thing. This is the
madness.
thing.
These
This
are
is the
young
thing.
men thinking about a situation that if I go, I think you're going to get locked up anyway. Me personally, I think he still would have done at least 5 years,
I
even
don't
if he's
know.
still told.
Well, the bottom line is we don't never know because it didn't play out hypothetically.
Right.
It played out actually.
You're right.
You know what I mean? But think about this. A car accident is still an accident, right? It's an
Right.
accident.
Yeah.
But somebody's still at fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's finish.
All right,
watching
let's
it.
get back to this documentary. All right.
That's what I was going to ask you next.
Yeah, the police said you would have never got locked up because even though you was there, you came straight to us afterwards.
You couldn't come to him.
Nah. Nah, I'm talking about if once I got dropped off, if I would have headed straight to the police and told them what happened and told them the whole story, nothing would have happened to me. I wouldn't have got locked up.
So the charges you got, why did they charge you that? So they didn't believe your story?
When you get locked up, it's like proven until found guilty or something like that.
It's supposed to be innocent.
Innocent until proven guilty. Police don't trust nobody's word. Let's get that straight up.
So you guilty until you prove
Yeah, I'm guilty until I'm proven innocent. That's how it works in America.
So you couldn't really prove you're innocent without.
No, because some fact.
Any of them guys ever say, look, he ain't know nothing about this or nothing?
Only one, and that was the one that shot the girl.
And that didn't make no difference with the police.
That didn't make no sense with the court system. I think I got railroaded too, because I'm a young black guy that lives in a somewhat poverty neighborhood. Didn't have money for a real lawyer. I think I would have got off with a real lawyer because I had 2 letters that were sent to my cell from the guy that told the other guy to shoot the girl. And it stated that, yeah, I'm sorry I put you through this. I know you don't have nothing to do with it, but I still got charged with it at the end of the day. Even when I showed my public defender, quote unquote, the courts gave me, it's like he took the letter and didn't even show the judge and told me, oh, because it's not notarized. Well, what else do I have to do? I mean, he sent me they tell you not to show or talk about your case in prison. But when I showed this to the guard and he read it, he was like, yeah, this should really get you out. This should really get you out of here. It says right here, you had nothing to do with it. And his initials were on the top of the envelope. How do you not see that? His initials, I gave you the letter, and I made sure I made a copy of it too. I gave you the letter and I gave you the envelope that had his initials on there and said came from Salem County, same place where he was held at, came from the same place, same building to me. You understand what I'm saying? And the courts didn't even look at that. And I had another letter when they put the shooter on my pod. He sent me a note underneath the door saying, yeah, I know you didn't have nothing to do with it. I told him that, but we're gonna have to go tell him that Kenny did all this. Like, he was trying to basically pit me and him have a story saying pit the other boy. Yeah, just like put everything on the other boy. I'm not trying to hear none of that. You sent me a letter and you're not supposed to have contact with me. We're not supposed to have contact at all.
Did he have his name on that letter?
He didn't have his name on that letter.
Did you show that to your public defender?
I showed that to my public defender.
He ain't do nothing with it.
He ain't do nothing. I made a copy of it too.
So, what would you say to the youngsters that talk about they loyal to their boys, they ride or die? I mean, because
I'm gonna tell them straight laced, be loyal to yourself. You know what I mean? Be loyal, very loyal to yourself. If you have a situation where another person trying to throw you into a situation, or your gut saying don't do it, listen to your gut and don't follow. Always lead. You never want to follow after somebody. I felt like I followed after somebody that led me down to a wrong road and actually got me put away for eight with 85, 6 years, 9 months, and 21 days. It could have been longer. I could have had 15. I could have had 30 to life. At first they came at me with 30 to life.
after all that's said and done, you serve your time, you out.
Yeah.
You still got to deal with the impact of what happened.
Yeah, but it doesn't mess with me mentally. It doesn't mess with me mentally. I'll tell you why. Because simple fact, I wasn't there for that purpose. I wasn't the one that shot her. And there was so many people that knew my story and what happened that, you know what I mean, good people came in my life and started helping me out.